So all of this is attributed actually to the brains behind the operation is our CEO and main co-founder, Farid Shukurov. As a freelancer, he used to do freelancing gigs, helping website owners to fix certain elements of the website. With all this frustration and annoyance, he then thought of creating something which eventually turned out to be Beep. So Beep, basically it's a visual feedback tool. The next logical step that I was thinking was influencer marketing and starting to actually get in contact with nano influencers, because especially for SaaS, it's such a thing, like you want to niche down as much as possible.
Welcome to our Afluencer podcast. We've got a special tool for our productivity experts and aficionados here. We are a special treat, especially for our tech productivity and SaaS influencers here. We're talking Beep, which is a very cool little tool, let you add comments on websites, sort of easier than sharing screenshots and all the recordings and all that clunky stuff that we go through, so that I can share, hey, here's what I'm seeing here, and I want you to be able to see the same thing. So we'll get into the tool, we'll get into the influencer opportunities, and we're happy to have Roberto Perez. He's the CMO of Beep. Roberto, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me, Brett. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, great. Yeah, excited to have you. And, I'll let you kind of describe the tool, but I was excited to talk to you about it. So what was the inspiration behind it? Was it, did I get it with, this is so clunky to try to share it? Sharing, there's always that sharing files, sharing screens, recordings. Here's what I'm seeing when you're not actually in the same room as someone. Let's talk about the inspiration behind creating Beep itself.
Sure, yes, of course. So all of this is attributed actually to the brains behind the operation is our CEO and main co-founder, Farid Shukurov. So he was a buddy of mine back in university, and long story short, we got together and worked together on Beep to actually bring it to the world. So he is a UX, user experience and user interface expert with over 10 years of experience in the field. And as a freelancer, he used to do freelancing gigs, helping website owners to fix certain elements of the website. What would usually happen is they would send a bunch of screenshots to each other, like exchange a lot of iterations and say, okay, this element does not work. This element in the contact form has the wrong spelling, and he receives that and he says, okay, I see the screenshot, but which page exactly is the contact form located on? Because we have tons of contact forms on your website. So sometimes they forget to attach the URL. They forget to exactly attach what they want to, what the results that they want. And so this is not just a one-off case for many user experience, user interface, or maybe even website developers, website designers who are doing freelance. This is not just a one-off case. So for every single change that needs to be done, they have to take a screenshot, put it on an image editor, put a little circle, a little arrow, and say, hey, something is wrong here. Maybe attach it to a Google Doc and put all the elements that they want changed, save that, and then send it over to the other person. And then, the iteration, the loop goes on and on and on with every single change that needs to be happening. So it's like almost 100 times of this back and forth altogether. So with all this frustration and annoyance, he then thought of creating something which eventually turned out to be Beep. So Beep, basically it's a visual feedback tool, which could mean many things, but I'm gonna break it down simply. Visual feedback in the sense that we give feedback with a visual aid, basically. So we send a comment, and attached to the comment is already an automatic screenshot. So you don't have to take the screenshot yourself. You just, Beep, basically it's a browser extension, it's free to download. And what basically allows you to do is you just hit a shortcut key, which is Alt+C on your keyboard, and then you click anywhere that you want on the web, anywhere on your screen. It creates like a little pin. A comment box will pop out. You just type, okay, this element needs to be shifted to the right, or change this title to this, change the color to this. And then once you hit save or send, the screenshot is automatically attached, taken for you, and the screenshot has the pin located where exactly you left the comment. And then you can send it to absolutely anyone via link, via email. And for those who are Beep users, You can just tag them with an @ and then add their username, send that, and then they will receive a notification straight in their browser. So it automates a lot of processes in the review process. And according to us, based on our users, it saves up to 35 hours every single month. And that's just for one user. When it's a team, usually because one person's workflow is faster, it accumulates as the team gets bigger. That's basically
that's very cool. So in terms of differentiating, it strikes me that because all the tools that I've used that have done parts of what you described, it seemed to be more closed. Like if I have a designer doing a mock-up and we're sending it back and forth and they want my comments, and I can't think of the names of the tools offhand, but they're kind of like a closed environment where I'm logging in as just them and me, versus Beep sounds like very open from what you described, because you can email it to people, share the link, so that's very kind of standard Google Docsy type sharing, and then if they're Beep users, you just tag them. So was that kind of the inspiration to make this, take this idea, the elements that you like from productivity tools, but make it very wide open in terms of the sharing as being the key?
Definitely. And the key mission of our startup was basically to help make it as easy as possible for people and users to improve the web. So that was our motto: improve the web one beep at a time. So we tried to make it, as you said, not closed off within like restricting it to only users or limiting it only to the users, but allowing users to then share the feedback with non-users very simply with a link or an email. And if you click on that link, they will be brought to another web page where it's just like one big screenshot with a pin locating where the comment was left. And then on the right side is the comment itself and an actual URL already attached, so they can click on that to be able to locate exactly where the problem was found. That's basically it. So it's something that's very open. We want to help people improve the web as easy as possible. So basically, even Beep users, like for me, when I'm browsing the web, sometimes I do see a little typographical error. I do take a Beep and then I take the link, send the link to the contact form of the website owners and say, hey, there's a little problem that I found. I'm hoping like I can submit this in the contact form, hopefully change it. It's going to improve the website's professionality and impression. Hope it helps. And then I just send it to them. So it's super simple. It's something that gets everyone engaged.
Yeah, that's very cool. And you know, kind of throwing stuff up, you proofread stuff and you have your team look it over, and there can still be little things on websites, right? I mean, we're always pushing updates to our app and you test things, but stuff gets pointed out, right? And that's why we want tools like Beep, so you can let people know that, hey, this needs to be fixed, and it's nice to have that in a clear, concise way. Let's talk about your Accelerator program experience. So very cool that you were accepted into that Meta-led Accelerator program. What kind of inspired you to apply, and what was that like in terms of the benefits and experience?
Oh, definitely. Well, it was a long journey until we reached that point. So it's a lot of forward planning. And that's the thing with startups, it's a kind of a joke where they say like when you start like a startup, a big majority don't even make it to the first year, and an even bigger majority don't make it to the second year or even the fifth year. They all die off, and only like a small percentage actually make it profitable after the fifth year. So it takes a lot of forward planning to understand exactly what you want to achieve, taking all the strategy and a lot of experimentation. So for us, we did have our first accelerator program, which was with 500 Global, which is I think the second best accelerator program globally, just below Y Combinator. And so we got 100K investment from them. So our company back then was valued at around 1.9 million, if I'm not wrong, for that amount. And then from then we learned how to pitch to investors. That's the good thing about 500 Global. They told us they refined our pitch to make it like within 2 minutes, we could explain exactly what are the pain points we are solving, how do we show our metrics, and how do we speak to investors. Then from there, we moved on. We got into this platform called Product Hunt. I'm not so sure if you're familiar with that. It's a place where...
Yeah, I've heard, but yeah, if you could explain to listeners.
But Product Hunt is basically a platform where, and it could be argued whether or not it's really useful, because most people say that people who are on Product Hunt are only marketers or company founders, and it's just a marketing machine basically, and that there are no actual users there. But it's a good way of getting social proof, and that's what we did the product hunt launch for. And so when we did the product hunt, we put a lot of effort into it, many months of preparation. We won product of the day and product of the month and product of the week in several categories. So we use that social proof not only as an end goal in itself, but we use that social proof to then move on to talking to AppSumo, which is yet another software platform where the softwares, they basically put up a lifetime deal for it's usually like software. Usually we do like a subscription. It's a subscription based type of thing where we have recurring, like our subscriptions recur per month or annually, depends on it's like the Microsoft or all of the other subscription services. But the thing with AppSumo is that they sell the services, they sell the software as a lifetime deal. So a lot of people do want to hop on, get these lifetime deals before, like at a very big discount, before basically it disappears. So we went to AppSumo for that first. We wanted to get that big injection of sales to get that revenues, so then we could reinvest that back into our company and then keep growing. So with the AppSumo last month, we had like, it was more than 12K in revenue. So that was a big success for our part. And then that was also not the end goal. From there, we grew. And then with that metric, we tried to tune up all the little dials. With that metric, we then went on to like a startup, like a pitch battle. My founders, they're from Azerbaijan, from Baku. So there was a thing called Baku Investment Day. They went there, the CEO pitched. And then basically from there, we won 100K, another 100K of investment from like a syndicate of investors. So now with that 100K for around, I could be wrong, like 1.5 or 2% of the company. So that puts us at roughly like 4-point-something million in valuation. But of course, those are just lofty things, unless, you know, the real results. But that's basically, it's the valuation. It's just the hope. Like, it's just the valuation. It's not like necessarily how much we're valued at. So then from there...
Yeah, so how did it work with the, Roberto, on AppSumo? I'm curious, because it's a free product, or do you have premium options? How does that work with the rev share on that, where they want a deal, but I guess fully free, or do you have premium versions and that's what you're discounting then?
Oh, so Beep, yes, we do have a free forever plan. Of course, it has a limit to the number of beeps that you can send. You can also create projects in Beep or hashtags. There's also a cap on that. But then with the premium plan, everything is unlimited. So there's unlimited beeps that you can send, unlimited projects, hashtags. And also, I forgot to mention before, but with Beep, you could also attach screen recordings to the comment. You could also attach files of any format to each comment. And each comment comes also with like status updates. You can put like in progress, and then in the dashboard, there is like a Kanban or a progress board view where you can see all your comments and the feedback that you get, and you can just simply go move them into in progress, to do, and then to done. So it's a good way. It's like a project management tool / it started as a screenshot tool, visual feedback screenshot tool, and then it's segued into being a fully fledged project management tool. So going back to the pricing, so yes, we have a free forever plan, then we do have a premium plan. With the AppSumo, we had to give a lifetime deal, so we bumped that up to around $49 for the lifetime deal at the tier 1. And yeah, but definitely AppSumo is good because it's a very powerful marketing machine as well. They promote the product for you. They promote it on their YouTube pages. They have affiliates as well that blast content for you on your behalf without you having to do anything. They have the email newsletter. But of course, they take a big cut out of the revenue that you earn. And depending on the agreement that you have, it can be either you keep 20% or you keep 25%. And for us, we kept 25% because we had the leverage to actually request that type of amount. So
interesting. Gotcha. Yeah, it's, not to get too far down the AppSumo side, but does that require, do you have to integrate with them for the billing side, or is that more affiliate tracking links for, hey, here's traffic that came from AppSumo and then you owe them?
Yes, we had to integrate with them to a degree, yes.
Yep, gotcha. Makes sense. So now that you've kind of done the AppSumos and these other, the sort of that startup world, moving on to, I know at CMO, you're probably you're looking around. What do you do next? You got other unlimited places you could potentially dump your money, but you're trying to do it smartly, right? You got the Google AdWords, and then you got the social media ads, right? Facebook ads and Instagram ads, or potentially TikTok, or so on and so forth, or you can go the organic route. So what's your thought process? I know you're looking at influencers, but kind of what's your thought process in terms of next marketing channels, in terms of getting that additional traction and taking those next steps for Beep?
Sure. So definitely Beep being a startup, we started first trying to shoot down the low-hanging fruit, so to say. So everything that's low budget, or what we deem low budget but high performing, like type of investments, that's what we try to go for. So we shot down all the things that were free, like product hunt launch, got the social proof from there. AppSumo, we didn't spend anything. Also got a lot of social proof from there, and a lot of good backlinks as well. So it's the whole SEO type of process, trying to drive organic traffic and inbound traffic to the website and to us as well. So all those that are free. Google Ads, we tried Google Ads back in the day when we began. It did help, but the thing is, like with Google Ads, and I think it's getting more expensive now, depending on the keywords, but it does take a little bit of time. Same with like Meta ads, Facebook or Instagram ads. It takes a little bit of time for the algorithm to start to warm up, to understand, okay, this is the target market that is good for Beep, or is this the type of target market that it's gonna have the highest click-through rates. And many startups, especially if we are either bootstrapped or trying to take care of their financial health, we don't want to necessarily spend that much money on like experimentation, or for an algorithm to start catching up to what actually works. So then that's why the next logical step that I was thinking was influencer marketing, and starting to actually get in contact with, before it was just organizations like 500 Global, getting social proof from them. But now I wanted to move forward into actually individuals, because I think that's a trend that's happening in the influencer marketing space, is the boom of like micro or nano influencers. Because especially for SaaS, it's such a thing, like you want to niche down as much as possible. Same like with startups, they say don't like fire like a shotgun, and fire to the worst thing that you can be is like mass market. Try to be as minimal or as targeted as possible, like as very narrow as possible. And then from there, once you've validated that your product does work, as they call reach product market fit, once you've validated that, and then you can like earn from them. Once you earn from them, then you can start to consider, okay, we can branch out to a bigger market or to similar markets in different demographics, different geographical locations. And then from there, try to maybe scale to different types of users, different types of people. So narrow first, and then as you prove that you're successful, you start to increase the range a bit. So I think, yes, with nano or micro influencers, definitely try to niche down as much as possible. So with our case, try to niche down to people who are specialized in productivity tools, but specifically technological or software productivity tools, or even more narrow, it's productivity tools and then software and then browser extensions. So people who are experts in that field. And usually it's go ahead. Because like in digital marketing, as probably you're aware, and everyone is watching, of course, will be aware, we don't necessarily like following brand-owned social media channels or pages, because it's a little bit, we don't necessarily trust them. As they say, like there was a research back in 2014, of course I could be wrong at this point, could have been updated, but like 83% of people trust family and friends for advice on what to purchase. So basically advice on what to purchase, reviews, they ask for advice. And then 88% of people actually take influencers the same way that they do family and friends. So they trust influencers the same as they do family and friends. So I thought the same, like, okay, instead of broadcasting our message and promoting ourselves, let's let other people promote. Basically, if they believe in the product, of course, they will be able to promote us in their own channels and their own pages. Plus, they already have their own voice, they have their own style. And for people who are not very strong in content marketing, or they don't have the skills to make videos or skills to make those reels, you can already take advantage of people who do, basically. So that's pretty much the whole mindset that went into the decision to go forward with influencer marketing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense as a way to connect. I mean, the connection you see, especially like you said with the nanos and micros, is kind of amazing. You see it from the engagement rates and the interaction that they have with their followers. And like you said, I mean, the beauty today is that the social media has matured so much. You can find the people who are all about the productivity tools, or all about, project management, or, specific to the focus, right, that you're looking for. And I think it makes a lot of sense. So we've got your collab hosted with us. We're thrilled to have it. And we'll get the link next to the video and the podcast here so that our influencers can directly apply to it. Can we talk about that opportunity in terms of what are the specifics in terms of partnering with Beep, what they can potentially earn?
Sure. So it's basically what we're looking for are influencers who do have experience, or an audience that are technologically savvy. They are into software. They're into probably even browser extensions, because not everyone is aware of a Chrome web store or browser extensions, nor is confident enough to use them. So most probably those influencers who are very natural in the space. Now, I did check out Afluencer. I'm not so sure. I've checked out some of the influencers. Most of them are in the consumer goods space, not so much in the software. So I'm hoping that there are people who will join who are in the software space, or people from the consumer goods who want to take maybe a deep dive or try something new perhaps. So that's basically it. And mostly it's just influencers to make videos, either long form YouTube videos discussing trying out the tool, reviewing it, how helpful was it for you, even do a time test, try doing feedback, try requesting or reviewing websites using traditional methods, screenshots, sending in Google Doc, going through message, and then versus doing the same thing but with Beep, and you'll see the big difference. So either long form video or short form video, and there are on the Collab page, there will be different prices that I inserted per type of video that you create. So short form, there's one price, long form, there's one price, and then for a combined, because I know with social media, the good thing is we can atomize content, repurpose content. So big form video can always be transformed into a reel. And if you do both things, there's also another price for that.
Yeah, very cool. In terms of the long form stuff, then, if we're looking at YouTube, are you looking for influencers with a YouTube channel who can upload that, or would they send to you? Do you have a preference how that works?
They can upload on their channel for sure, yes. And we'd prefer that as well, to take advantage of the audience that they have built up, and with efforts and time, we wouldn't want to get the content that they made and then just publishing it ourselves.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think that's my understanding, my conversation, that seems to be where the trends are going. I know a couple of years ago, people would try to get control over it so that they could boost the posts on their end from the brand standpoint. And that seems to be getting more and more limited. So I think that's sort of my sense in chatting, is that use the organic approach seems to be the way to go.
Yes, in terms of backlinks for 1 second, the thing that I mentioned, people are not as trusting of brand-owned media. They trust someone as not connected with the brand. The more unconnected they think an influencer is to the brand, the more kind of the trust goes up. It's funny, but it's the way that it is. So yes, it all adds up to being beneficial that the influencer keeps the content and posts the content on their channel.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity and a really cool product, Roberto. So we will, we'll get this out there, and that's our goal for you, is to get you some more productivity, tech-focused, SaaS-focused influencers here. And even if they're not currently on the platform, easy to sign up and apply to the Beep Collab. For people who are watching and listening and just want to try out Beep, how can they do that, Roberto?
Oh, just sign up to try Beep.
Yeah, just to get going on Beep. Give us the website, give us the social media stuff.
Oh, sure. So the main website is just beepit.com. And then once you go there to the website, you can check the features, see if you like it. You can always click the Get Beep for free or add Beep to your browser. You'll be taken to the Chrome Web Store. You just add it to the browser, follow the instructions. And the cool thing about our tool compared to the competition is that in less than a minute, you'll be able to start using Beep. So there's no fancy registration process. It just takes everything in less than a minute. You're going to get started. Super simple.
Yeah, that's great. I love having that Chrome extension. One of my past startups had the Chrome extension, and it's very convenient. And as a user today, I appreciate that without having to download something on my Mac, which always perennial seems locked down and passwords, and then you got to get the download here, download there. Having that Chrome extension is really great. So this has been fun. Yeah, thanks for describing Beep to us. Very cool productivity product that I know continues to evolve. So this is a great opportunity for influencers and creators to get going. Thanks so much, Roberto.
Thank you very much for your time, Brett. Thank you for doing the interview.